Hi, it's me John of Millinery and welcome back to my channel. So I'd already recorded my intro and my outro today and I'm redoing it because it was garbage. So it's the week before Christmas. This goes up on Wednesday and Christmas is Friday. So I thought we'd do a Christmas one. Last week we did like Christmas, but this week we're doing kind of Christmas. If this is your first time on this channel, hi, I'm John, welcome to my channel. We talk about hats, we talk about millinery, tutorials, suppliers, you name it, we've got it. So drop me a like in the down below, and make sure while you're down there, subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll never miss a video when I put them out in future. Because it's the week of Christmas, I didn't want to do it like something really complicated, so I kind of chose monochrome black white piece, kind of slightly inspired by The Nightmare Before Christmas. So this, oh that's backwards, this is this week's piece. So if you want to see how I put this beautiful piece together, let's get started. Okay, so before I blocked anything, I just wanted to make a custom block. So I grabbed my saucer block, which is from Hat Blocks Direct, and this came with a presser for the saucer. And I covered both the presser and the saucer block in cling film. Instead of putting the presser in the divot in the saucer block, I actually turned it upside down and had it facing up and put that in the center of the block and blocked one layer of Sinamay over this. Now this does mean that some of the Sinamay doesn't touch a block, but I thought if I pulled it tight enough it should be fine. Did that work? Let's see, we'll carry on. So I blocked one layer of Sinamay, then I also blocked a layer of black net over this, and I pulled the net enough to try and get rid of as many creases and folds as possible, and I did use pins to hold the net into place at the bottom as well. I then laid over one more layer of Sinamay and gave this a block 2. I was trying to see how blocking fabric in between Sinamay would work as well, and for the most part it worked well, but I just want to note that there is no block touching the Sinamay parts of this, like I mentioned, and I have noticed in the past that when Sinamay doesn't touch the block, it doesn't stiffen well. So I'm just wondering, does anybody know why? It was pulled quite hard, and I did use steam to smooth it down, but sometimes it just doesn't stiffen flat. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you've had this problem before and if you have any answers to this specific scenario. So once blocked, I left this to dry. Well, I stiffened it and left it to dry. And then I removed from the hat block and wired the edge with some Brim Wire. I had run out of black thread, so you can see me using white. Don't worry though, because then I did cover the edge with some white ribbon, so using white was perfectly fine. I then went out and bought some black thread because I was wanting to decorate the top. Now initially, I wanted a gradient from black to white using feathers, but I just couldn't figure something out. I trimmed some feathers, I shaped some feathers, and nothing really stood out. So I left it to sit overnight. Then I realised I had this black vintage metallic faux stud trim from Petershams. So I hand sewed this to the brim in 4 evenly spaced out circles, and this was quite easy to sew. All you have to do is hide your stitches in the middle of the stud and you're good to go. Once I'd done that, making sure my join for my faux stud trim matched up with the join of the ribbon, I wanted to play around with some feathers. So I cut these Naguar, is it Naguar or Nagori? Once again, let me know in the comments down below. So I measured them and I cut them this, like measured one, and I cut enough out of each colour the same size, and I threaded them through the trim evenly spaced out as I went down the brim and around the brim, and I just threaded them through. I mean, it's so small that it holds it into place. If you are concerned about this, I would maybe get a toothpick with some sort of glue or something and just put it underneath where it is in the trim, and just so it glues it ever so slightly to the feather. I haven't done that because I thought they were fine, but if you are concerned, you could do that as well. And then finally, I just added a little headband in the head fitting just so it sits really nice for comfort. And as a bonus, I did nearly add a crap ton of crystals, but I actually restrained myself once and I didn't add them. Are you proud of me? If you are proud of me, please let me know. Tell me in the comments down below. # he didn't use crystals. So yeah, the one thing about this that I would do is these cut feathers here, the black ones, I would maybe use a Sharpie pen just on the tops, just to hide that cut of the feather. The rest of them are fine, to be fair, and it's very, like, a very effective way with not a lot of work. If you didn't want to do the feathers, you could use scraps of fabric, just cut them up, thread them through to get that little bow. But I kind of like them. They look different. It's a different way of using a feather. Thank you always to my Patreon, Reggie. Thank you, Reggie. It's all your ongoing support for this channel is noted and very, very much appreciated. If you want to join my Patreon, link to that is in the description box below, as well as links to all my social media. But definitely with Patreon, I have tiers starting from just £1 per month. Also, don't forget, I have merch, so that is listed in the description box down there as well. So if you want to support this channel in any way that you can, feel free to do so. Question of the week. So last week's question of the week was, what is your favourite Christmas song? And like always, Janice, thank you. I can rely on you to answer this question. Janice came up with an unusual, I've never heard, well, I'll read out. I doubt very much you will have ever heard Same Old Lang Syne. It's my favourite Christmas song. It is sung by Dan Fogelberg. Unfortunately, he passed away on December the 16th, 2007. No, I haven't heard of that. And if I can, I will either link it in the description box below, or I will maybe put an insert if I can, if it's not copyrighted. I don't know. So this week's question of the week is, what is your family's Christmas tradition? Mine is, I think someone's having a party downstairs in the office. My family Christmas tradition is bizarre. Mum always puts, well, two things. Let's start at the beginning. So every year when my pops was alive, bless him, he worked as he used to like deliver, collect and transport corn, so he worked a lot with farmers. And every year this one farmer or somebody would give him a turkey, every year without fail. But this turkey was massive. We're talking like huge. And it was like, how on earth is this going to be for? I mean, there was only maybe 5 of us at Christmas dinner tops. I was like, this was enough for like 20. So we would always get this turkey for free, like every year. But the tradition that we would have is, for some bizarre reason, we would slap the turkey before it went in the oven, and we'd call it Gladys. So the turkey was always called Gladys, and we'd always give it a slap before we put it in the oven. I have no idea why. And I'm kind of going to miss that. I haven't done Christmas for a few years at my parents, because this is my first year of not working working for somebody else. So this is my first Christmas of not working in retail. And I'm not going to be sitting with my parents, well, with my mum, because I'm in Sydney. That's a bit sad, but yeah, maybe next year. I'll be able to go home and spend that time with my mum. Well, like always, thank you very much for watching. This will be my last video before Christmas Day. I have another one coming up next week for New Year. I've got a New Year headpiece kind of in the works. Last week, I apologise. I tried to live stream. It didn't work for some strange reason. Tomorrow I'm doing a lot of testing. Well, tomorrow my time I'm doing a lot of testing. I am going to be live streaming again on the 23rd for majority of the world, 24th for me. Same times as last time. They'll be on the screen as we speak. So please, and obviously the link to the live stream will be in the description box below, so make sure you go to that and you set a reminder to remind you to take part. Right, well, thank you very much for watching. I'm just looking in the thing and I realised I'm a little chesty, so I'm gonna go. I'll see you hopefully in the live stream, and I'll see you next week. Bye. So this video up here is a video that YouTube thinks you want to watch, and down here is a video that I think you want to watch. So yeah, I think this one, what I'm going to pick, I'm probably going to pick my Steps Hollow hat. So this is my Steps Hollow one, and this is one that YouTube wants you to watch.